Do you know why majority of the people will never be motivated enough to change their lives? Well, I'm going to tell you why in this video. Hey, Jason here, and if you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me go through Jozi, showing you how beautiful of a place Johannesburg, South Africa is. But most importantly, you've been hearing me talk about success, what it is, and how to get it in the three areas of life that I focus on: happiness, health, and wealth. And so let's go ahead and dig into today's video. And so this one came to me today, and we're still talking about sacrifice and discipline because it's something that one video is not sufficient enough to try to explain what this really means. And the thing about it is, like, constant space repetition is something that is most of us don't understand. This is how we learn over and over and over again. And what I mean by constant space repetition, meaning on a continuous basis, consistency, and usually every day. This is why the education system makes you go to school every day. This is why work demands so many days for you to be there. This is what that is. All of this subconscious and psychological programming is already known. This isn't new information. So even though it may be new to you ever hearing it from me, I'm not the one who discovered this. I'm just giving it to you in my voice and my words, and I'm just showing you through it as I'm learning this stuff also. Now, not only as I'm learning it, I'm applying it to my life. That is the big difference. And when you start applying it to your life, you start seeing how you've used these things to maybe give you the things that you didn't want in life, or you may have used them in certain parts of your life to get the things that you want. And that's what I want everyone to really start seeing from this. And so it's funny because today this one came to me while I was doing a meditation. I think I did like an hour meditation this morning because I woke up with a lot of energy, and I was like, okay, let me organize this energy. Let me get it into an order and flow it to how I want it to flow out. And this is the stuff that came with me. And show you, these are my notes from it. And this is what I'm like telling you, like, I have so many journals and stuff. Most of them I burned because what I usually do every year, I burn most of my journals and everything, because I believe there's energy into that, and it tells the universe, like, hey, this is just a little bit another, I tell the universe what I want, I move a certain way to show it what I want, and then all of this stuff, I send it up and turn it into a different energy by burning it and letting the universe get that also. I just believe in the trifecta. I believe in doing as much as possible to keep your energy in the right place. Like, even, like, this is, you probably gonna laugh and be like, yo, you crazy, Jay. But look, this is my coaster. I don't know if you can see it good, but it's like different, like the Buddha monk. I have some that say namaste. I have dragons, which mean reborn, rebirth. Like, I'm all about the energy and keeping everything in a certain way. Because I'm telling you, like, motivation does not work. Motivation is never going to get you to your goal. Most likely, and most of the time, motivation is going to set you up for a deeper failure than what you were really looking for. And this is one of the reasons why we've been programmed to believe motivation is an outside source, or someone have to teach it to us, or we have to go find it somewhere. Like, we need to go climb the Himalayan mountains and pray with some Buddhas and live this tranquil, peaceful life, and then we're going to come down that mountain and be motivated to get what we want. And the truth is, you're not. You're never going to have enough motivation to do what you want. And the reason why is motivation is not what it is. It's a fake concept that everyone's been teaching us for so many years, and so many of these fake motivational teachers and stuff like here who just want your money. I'm telling you, I know from personal experience, I fell for it. And you know what? After I fell for it, I was just like, oh man, this is a waste. I could have just kept my money and just went and read a book. That's why I read so many books now, and I read these books over and over again, because it's not motivation. It's specific knowledge we must start to acquire to reach our goals. If you want to become a doctor, you're not becoming a doctor because you're motivated. You're becoming a doctor learning things that doctors need to learn to be a licensed doctor. If you want to be a lawyer, you're not motivated to get through law school. It's not motivation. You're putting in the work. You're doing what you need to do on a consistent basis. You're disciplining yourself. You're giving yourself a command saying, you know what? I'm going to do this schoolwork. I'm going to do this and study for this exam today. I'm going to study for my bar. That is what it takes: discipline and sacrifice. Because you can't study for your bar and go out and drink at the same time, you have to sacrifice the fun with your friends. You have to sacrifice doing things that is not getting you towards your goals. And we're not being taught this. This is why there's an 80-20 principle in the world. 20% of people are doing things that actually get them towards their goal. 80% of people are doing things that gets them nowhere. And it's not going to change until each of us change as an individual. And really just think about this. Like, really think about it. What was something you've accomplished in your life? What did you have to sacrifice to accomplish that goal? Because then you're going to start seeing, you know what? Man, if I sacrifice this over here, I'll get this. If I sacrifice this over here, I'll reach this goal. This is how this works. It's so simple, however, it's so difficult because we wasn't programmed correctly in the way to use these things correctly. And then it says, because then one of the downloads I got to say it, in fact, motivation is the results of discipline and sacrifice. And so what do I mean by that? Once you reach your goal, you can never go back from it. So like for me, when I reached my goal of getting healthier, losing over, what did I lose? Over 200 kilograms, all of this, I became motivated to never be that person again. It's inside of me. If I see that I'm eating too bad, like when this month, I've been going all over to the different marketplaces, filming, eating a lot of food, especially fried foods, which I don't normally eat. My motivation automatically kicked in inside of me. It was like, hey, it's time to eat healthy. That's why I'm doing a predominantly liquid right now. I'm going back on my 18-hour, 6-hour windows of intermittent fasting. I'm not eating out as much. All of these things, I put barriers in place. That's what motivation is. Motivation is where you have barriers from discipline and sacrifice to never fall back down and go back on the other path. So, and this shows you, like, and I know you may be tired of me using weight loss or weight release, how I used to like to call it. However, it's the best example because you can physically see it on a daily basis. Everybody, just about everybody that I know, have someone in their family member that is struggling with losing weight. Look at them. When they're going on a diet, they're motivated. They have this outside motivation. Oh, this is going to be the thing. This is going to be it. Once they finish it, why do they gain back the weight? There's a reason why there's a difference between people who are yo-yo dieters and there's a difference between people who have a lifestyle. An eating lifestyle will always trump a yo-yo diet. And so what I mean by that is someone who has an eating lifestyle, it doesn't even matter if you're keto, pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan, plant-based, alkaline, you can keep going up, breatharian, whatever you want to go. Whatever your lifestyle is, you're sacrificing something and you're disciplined in it. Because of that, it has set up barriers to where you can never go back to the person that you used to be. This is why when people are always like, they think they're doing, they're being funny or they're teasing me or something like, oh, look, this chicken is so good. Oh, this beef, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. Enjoy your food. Don't sit here and try to make me want it. You enjoy your food. If you can eat that food, good for you. Hey, kudos to you. More happy for you. But guess what? I'm happy. I am happy where I'm at because those barriers of motivation are in place. I will never go back down that path, even if it means me being disrespectful to someone by declining their food. Like, please hear me out on that. I'm probably one of the most respectful people in the world when you meet me in public. However, I will tell anybody, I do not eat animal products. I do not eat anything from an animal. I'm not going to try it. I don't care if it's the world's best. I don't care who has the best recipe. I'm not going to eat it. There is nothing in me that cares enough to make someone else happy to actually eat that type of food again. Now, do I judge other people from eating it? No, I used to. I'll be honest with you, I used to. But no, I don't judge people for eating that way anymore. It's not my issue or my concern. Now, if someone comes to me and be like, hey, Jason, can you help me? I'll give them advice. But outside of that, it's not my concern. And the reason being is because I've sacrificed and I'm disciplined in my eating lifestyle, the motivation to stay healthy is inside of me. So there's barriers in place that just stop me. And the longer you do it and the longer you stay disciplined in your decision, This is what people don't tell you. This is what these motivational teachers don't tell you. The longer you're disciplined and the longer you sacrifice, that, let's say if when you first start out, it's like one roadblock. And so that's where it's like, you can jump over one barrier really easy. Now, after 3 months, it become a second. After a year, you have like 10 roadblocks. After 3 years, you maybe have 40. I'm 7, almost 8 years into this game of eating plant-based now. Like, yo, you can't get me to go back there. Every time I see pictures of that 600-pound person who I was, how fat I was, how sick I was, and I go back and I remember the thoughts that I had as that person, you can't get me to go back there. There's nothing in the world that could demotivate me enough to go back to that person. That's what motivation really is. Motivation is when you sacrifice and you become disciplined. You start setting up barriers within inside you that stop you from ever regressing back to the person that you used to be. There's this human existence that we have. There's only two ways that we live this life. We're either expanding, growing, or we're disintegrating. Most of us are living a life of disintegration. We're just looking down this path like, oh, this is what life has to be. Oh, this is all there is for me. And we're not just turning around and looking like, yo, I can expand, I can create, I can do whatever I want in this world. And the reason being is because everybody's telling us, hey, go search for motivation. Where's motivation? It's not going to be there. You have to build it in yourself. Motivation only comes from within. And you can only build it by sacrifice and discipline. And look at most of the people that's walking around the world that are not that don't sacrifice anything, or that's not disciplined in their decisions. They're not committed to it. A committed decision doesn't mean, okay, today I'm going to eat healthy, but for the rest of the month, it's my birthday month, I'm going to eat like shit. You're not getting results, homie. You're not going to get motivation. You're just going to continue being the person that's looking down the path of disintegration. And so we have to start acknowledging this. And these are universal laws. These laws go all the way back to the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, which is the Atlantean. Even if you let's go back to more modern ancient history of the Egyptians. All of this stuff is there. All of this stuff has been spoken about over generations, over centuries, over eons, over epochs. Like, this isn't new information. That's why I'm so comfortable talking about it. Everything that I'm studying, I'm seeing, it's the same principles over and over again. Yet society, this modern society that we're in right now, I don't know what that noise is. Somebody turning up out there. Let me close this window real quick. Okay. It's just gonna be a little dark right now because that noise is a little annoying. And so, because of this, modern society has set things in place to where they're using this against us. The education system is using this against us. We have to unlearn all the crap we've learned, and it's time for us to relearn this stuff correctly. But not only relearn it, we have to start applying it to our lives. Knowledge without action is just a waste. Let's just be honest. So many of us have so much knowledge in our heads, but we're not putting it into physical action. We live in a physical world. If you're not going to sacrifice anything physically out of your life, you're never going to be disciplined enough mentally to achieve the goals that you want. And this is just how this works. And then let me see, because I have a whole lot of notes here, but let me see if there's anything else I want to get out of this. And so then, so I did another download I had. It said the key to harmonizing with this energy is through self-discipline combined with self-study. Now that is one of the missing elements of sacrifice. People don't understand. You have to understand why you're sacrificing this. Oh, come on, people. Can I call? Okay, I'm back. Just had a call. Everything is trying to be distracting right now. But you see, this is how life works. And that's why I'm just going to let this go. You know what? I don't like how this look with the dark. Let me just let the window open. Hopefully you can't hear all that outside noise and it's just me hearing it. So this is why I use this. If you've been wondering why do I use these type of headsets, usually it actually, because it uses the bone of the ear. So that's how you can hear me. So usually it doesn't pick up too much outside noise, but it seems like somebody's on a loudspeaker or something. So it might be a little noisy and I apologize. And so because of this self-study, you can't sacrifice without self-study. And what I mean by self-study mean you have to educate yourself to reinforce why you're doing this sacrifice. Because the way the human body is built, this avatar is built, it's designed to keep us safe through paradigms. Paradigms is our habits. To rewrite a habit is one of the hardest things you can ever do in this world. Because most of our habits are actually coming from 7 years and earlier in life. Meaning most people are operating at a 7-year-old self. There's not very many habits most of us pick up outside of 7 years old. Our eating habits are usually the same. Our hygiene habits are usually the same. Our educational standards are usually the same. Our relationships are usually the same. We mimic everything that has been programmed around us or within us. This is one of the reasons why I'm very big on moving a lot, if you haven't noticed. Even though I could have stayed in Medellin, Colombia, I could have probably spent the rest of my life there living a great life. I had friends, I had family there, people who truly cared about me. However, I knew if I would have stayed there, I wasn't going to become and develop to the next level of Jason. And so that's why I had to come to South Africa. I'm not going to be in South Africa my whole life. There's going to be a time you see me going to other countries. You're going to start seeing me. I know there's going to come a time when I go live in India. I know there's a reason now I need to go there. But like, that's all because I do a lot of self-study. Self-study reinforces why your sacrifices are important. And then as you do more self-studying, that sacrifice becomes easier. That's why with my eating, like most people don't know this. I would say honestly, there's probably about maybe 100 medical doctors that are more knowledgeable than me when it comes to health. Of that 100, I study personally from 20 of them, meaning I follow them, I go to their seminars, I invest in their books, I invest in their research. And then also whenever they're doing scientific studies or they're breaking down studies, I go through it and I listen to it and I read it over and over again. There's not very many people on this planet that understands functional health of the body better than me. And the reason being is I was someone who was severely sick. I was on my deathbed. When I say that, I'm not joking. If you see the pictures, you can see how I didn't have good oxygen flow around my eyes, my lips, my hands. Everything was very dark. I'm pretty sure I had to have been at least, I know I was at least a type 2 diabetic at that time because you can't tell me I had good insulin. I couldn't breathe at night, so I had to use artificial air using a machine to breathe at night or I would die. Like, it was so many things wrong with me. And for me to be able to reverse those things, you have to start asking yourself, like, it's not luck. Maybe one thing, okay, that was lucky. But come on, mental health issues, helping to reverse those, helping ease depression, helping ease anxiety, helping reverse heart issues, helping remove the plaque out of my arteries, helping to be able to release hypertension that said I was going to have for the rest of my life and they told me that at 22. Like, it's not luck. I did self-study, and because of the sacrifices that I made and sacrifices that I continue to improve on today is why I'm able to do that. And so think about it. What are you willing to sacrifice to get the goal that you want? Like with most people, like I see now there's this big thing, it's all over the internet where, there's this big combat between men and women because no one wants to sacrifice anything. The men are talking about, oh, woman need to cook and clean, she need to know her place, blah, blah, blah. Women like, oh, he need to give me money, he need to buy me this, blah, blah, blah. and no one is sacrificing. A relationship, a healthy relationship, is about sacrifice. The man is sacrificing who he is as a man. Like, you're not a single dude anymore. You don't get to go out and drink with your buddies. You don't get to be a fuck boy. You don't get to go have fun. A woman has to sacrifice being a single woman. You don't get to just go spend money anywhere. You don't get to go out and drink. You don't get to go out and have fun. This is the problem with people. Most of us are not understanding what sacrifice means, and we think we're supposed to just get everything with the mindset that we currently have. And it's never going to work. If you look at the people who keep falling for that, you look at the guys. These are the same dudes when they're in their 30s. Oh man, I got child support. Oh man, she don't let me see my kids. Oh man. It was your fucking problem, yo. You chose that type of person because look at the type of life you were living. Then same thing goes to the women. Oh, he's a deadbeat dad. Oh, he don't want to take care of his kids. Oh, he's not responsible. Oh, man just wants sex. Oh, this, oh, that. It's your fucking problem. You wasn't willing to sacrifice anything. And because people aren't willing to sacrifice, when the law of cause and effect kicked in, then all of a sudden they're like, oh, life ain't fair. Oh, life is just unjust. Life is extremely fair. You get in life what you put out in life. There's a reason why I'm 40 and I'm not walking around here with baby mamas. I'm not walking around here with child support issues. It's very easy, yo. It wasn't hard. There's a reason why you see me right now, like you don't see me out here clubbing, partying. Like yesterday, I spent all week, well not even yesterday, all this weekend I spent doing my budget, redoing a budget. Do you think I want to do that? Like, let's be honest. I make a decent amount of money. I can live a very comfortable life, and I'm still budgeting. I don't want to do it. You know what? Even the little voice in my head was like, yo, you living pretty comfortable, man. You good. You don't have to do this. And you know what I told that voice? Shut the fuck up. I want more. I want to improve. I want to be better. I want to be able to do more in this life. And to be able to do more, that means I need more money. I want more money. And so because I want more money, I'm sacrificing today. Okay, where can I fine tune my budget? Where's some things that I can tweak? Where can I stop investing money into certain things that's not giving me exactly what I want in life? This is how you reach your goals. Sacrifice and discipline. So I'm Jason. That's it for today. I hope you like this video. And also, if you want to know more about the law of sacrifice, I have it's a digital PDF that you can use. It goes through it. It's the same stuff that I'm studying. So if you would like that, just shoot me a message, let me know, and I can send you an email with that. And have a great day. And remember, also like the video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, share this content with other people. Sharing is the world that we live in now. The more we share, the more we're actually helping. And that doesn't cost a dime.